So we're right up here at the lake. And I believe this is Pine Cove Road. And I just came around and I pulled off onto the old subdivision road. That's where the truck is parked. This little blue cabin here at the end of the cove is kind of a landmark for that. I pulled off on the subdivision road and I just parked and got out the camera, and we're gonna take a look at this. Now this is a large property with several different access points, but this is one area that I had never seen at all on the property. So I'm just going to continue down this access road. Like I said, it's an old subdivision road. It is a platted out road, but it hasn't been used in decades. So if you wanted to use this as a main access, you'd have to grab your chainsaw and clear out some of these trees to widen it. It looks like people have probably been using it as a trail, which is kind of nice because it kept it open. Now this property has been recently logged, as you'll see in the photos. The parts we've seen were not clear cut, but they did take the commercial hardwood timber, the bigger stuff, and it's going to look really messy for a few years. So now we're far enough on the old platted road that that's going to be the property on the left and the right. There's a house up there. That's on the other side of the gravel road. So that gravel road, had we continued on that, would have gone up a hill. I thought it'd be cooler to park on the old access road and just walk in and have a look at it. It's the middle of winter, and this property was just logged about a year ago. And so it's going to look pretty bad. You're going to have to overlook the tops and the limbs and stuff and just kind of look at the lay of the land. It's rolling. It's got some flat areas, some steep areas, and everything in between. I see a lot of good building sites already. Within a few years, when the limbs and everything rot down, and the other trees, the remaining trees will grow quite a bit more quickly because they're not competing with all the other trees. So this stuff will grow back up really quickly. And within little squirrel over there, he kind of freaked me out. Within a few years, this will start to look pretty good again. But right now is a good opportunity to buy it super cheaply. As you can see, there's a lot of downed tops and debris left from the loggers. Which is extremely common. Like you saw in the start of the video, we're extremely close to Lake of the Ozarks. We're within a few feet of the Lake of the Ozarks. That's a nice cove right by where I parked there. This is a very beautiful section of the lake. We're a little west of Camdenton. Well, we're about probably 30 minutes west of Camdenton. I don't know how many miles. And Camdenton is kind of the party spot on the lake with the speedboats. And you can get there on the water from here, but this is more the family-friendly side of the lake. This is where we spent our vacation last year, just a mile or two from here on this section of the lake. And families fishing, tubing, all that good stuff. No big, huge speedboats or power boats, really. Now this is cool. I didn't realize this. This is like a little, obviously I wouldn't say a creek, but some kind of little spring, and it is flowing. can see if you look over there, you can actually hear it just a little bit. So there's a cool surprise for this property. It's got some type of freshwater spring on it because it hasn't rained for, oh geez, a week or two at least. So the fact that that is running indicates there's probably some kind of, I don't want to say year-round spring, because as soon as I say that, I'll make it dry up. But it appears to be some kind of good water source here. You can see the water is running. Let's investigate a little bit, see where that's coming from. And if I were to come back in 2 months and do this video again, it would look like a completely different property, all green and lush. But I actually don't mind doing these winter videos because you get to see the land at its worst, at kind of the worst part of the year. So it gives you a good chance to really get a good look at it without the leaves on the trees. And then in the spring and summer, you'll have all of these trees that look like there's not much to them. Once they leaf out, this will look really, really nice and pretty, like a big Ozark jungle. Now here's that creek again. We've got kind of a trail network, which is cool. Trail that goes up. And then as we cross this little spring or creek bed or whatnot, I like to keep the video short, but let's explore that trail a little bit. I'm gonna flip through my maps. Let's see here. I'm gonna cross over this creek bed first. I'm just looking around. A lot of times while I do these videos, I'll be taking photos while I do the video with the camera. So if I pause for a second, it's probably what I'm doing. We'll go up that trail in just a moment. Big property, jeez. Okay, so as we look down here, it's going to be hard for me to get my bearings straight. Let me turn this a little bit. Okay, where are we? So I started the video looking out, well, I was back here, but we were looking this direction at the cove on the Lake of the Ozarks. I had just pulled the truck off Pine Cove and onto the old subdivision road. And then we walked in a little ways, and I can't really tell. We're probably somewhere in here. We're about to go up this way. I'm gonna see if I have a better map in my packet. This might be a little better. We'll see. Okay, so parked there, walked up this way. This is likely that spring or creek bed or whatever, and we'll kind of head up this way and we'll see what we can see. If we were to keep going way up, we'd end up on, well, that's Pine Cove Road as well. Fire station right here, flat area right here. And if we were to head to the south, where would we end up? Well, this does kind of wrap around the cove, which is really cool. So there's going to be obviously some views over here, but we'll let you do all the exploring you want. I'll just walk around a little bit and we'll see what we can see. A ton of wildlife in this area. I mean, I see deer sign and turkey prints just everywhere. On this property, I've seen several already. Paved road frontage, gravel road frontage, views of the lake from several spots. I didn't know it until today, but it does have the little spring on it. And this trail keeps on going up. This probably, well, I don't want to say it goes all the way up to the north to the paved road because I haven't checked it out, but I mean, it's heading that direction. Goes up a hill there. Oh, and here we've got that spring again. and it's still flowing up here. I mean, that's a great sign that this is a pretty solid little spring. So this is probably what feeds that cove over by where we parked. So if I had a topo map, I could tell exactly where we are, but what we have is this trail continues up, probably to the north. I'm terrible with directions. But we actually have two smaller springs meeting. There's this one coming down here, and this one coming down here. They're both flowing a little bit, and they're creating this slightly larger spring that we saw earlier. So that's really cool. Wow. Amazing property to build. I mean, you could have a cabin out here, or you could do a mansion out here, do a lake view type deal. Just to find a property this big, this close to the lake is so rare. And yes, it was obviously recently logged, as you can certainly tell by this winter video, but the potential here is just endless. You could clean it up, you could bring in some big equipment and clear off some open areas, or pasture or fields or whatever. Really, really cool. I see we've gone about 12 minutes already, so I'm going to shut this off, but that gives you a wintertime view of this large acreage in Camden County, right up at the Lake of the Ozarks.